Thank you. We're very confident about this year. I mean, we obviously had a very strong year in 2023. You just, called out the 23% RevPAR growth that we achieved. Our revenue was also up significantly versus prior year. I mean, if we think about 2024, there's really a couple of elements. One, this is an industry that has a number of factors that support what I would call secular growth. And let me just call this out, for you. One is we're entering an environment where we have positive GDP growth. Inflation is, normalizing. We also have positive demographic trends, particularly in geographies where Accor is leading, such as, for example, Southeast Asia. And we also have supported what I would call supply side dynamics. We are in an environment where interest rates are, still somewhat of a constraint on the supply side, but demand remains very strong, and that's a good thing for the industry. We've actually seen corporate travel bouncing back, and certainly what we hear from our clients is that they intend to increase their travel spend in 2024. And as you mentioned, finally, the last point is indeed some very supportive events, particularly in Europe. And, as Accor is a leader in Europe. And those events are the Olympic Games as well as the Euro Cup in Germany. So all in all, a number of factors that support demand more on a midterm perspective, as well as some particular events that will obviously benefit 24.
Martine, I wonder whether that pricing power around events protects the numbers. I can see, obviously, big weighting around France, which means that you have the exposure to the Olympics. But buried, or not exactly buried, but right up front in the results, premium, mid-scale and economy division has grown by 12%, but that's driven more by prices than the rise in occupancy rates. So it feels as though there is a demand issue underlying the surface here, that customers are pushing back on some of the price increases unless they have to pay for it around those big events.
So actually, when you look at the, what's driving RevPAR growth, about two-thirds in the fourth quarter, about two-thirds was prices and one-third was occupancy. And if you think about occupancy, actually, we closed the year only 3 points back behind 2019, despite, what was a meaningful price increase. So I would not necessarily agree with you in terms of pricing are actually deterring, our, guests to stay at hotels in general. Now, with respect to the Olympics, first of all, France is less than 20% of Accor's revenue. And if we think about the Olympics, we think that, yes, this will have a positive impact for the group, but it's going to be relatively minor.